I mean, come on, to try to copy Freddie Mercury? No.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time on the channel, hit subscribe right now.
So Udo, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. It doesn't happen every day that I get to talk to a personal musical hero of myself.
Okay.
So I very much appreciate it. Now, before we go into all the stuff we can talk about, just want to ask this one thing. I just rewatched an interview you did in 1999 for the Swedish television, and in that video, you were talking about, I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't know how long I'll be doing this. We're now 23 years later, and you're more active than ever before. How, I'm sure that, regular times you take a step back and go, this is really both exceptional and weird at the same time. Did you ever think it would, keep going like this?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's better to sit home and do nothing, what we had the last 2 years about the pandemic stuff, and I like to be working, definitely what I'm missing very much is touring, but now it looks like we can start in June, doing the whole thing, and maybe quite a workaholic, I mean, also doing the pandemic stuff, I did a lot of stuff at studio. I mean, I was doing the One album with the German Army Force Orchestra, and I did pandemic survival DVD. Yeah. I did Dirkschneider and the Old Gang. It was just an EP and charity thing. And then I came up with Game Over, with the U.D.O album, and now with My Way, the cover album. So in a way, you're quite busy.
We will, body your young men, hard men, shouting in the street, gonna take off.
Now, this the new album that we'll be talking about is going to come out in April. Weeks after your 70th birthday. Is it personal milestones like that, are they important to you, or is that something you stay away from?
It was planned that we are on tour in Germany on my birthday on the 6th of April in Hamburg, and there was a huge party planned, I don't know, they were planning something, but now the tour we have to move the whole European tour to September. We start in September, and then they said, okay, we put out the album a little bit later, and then they want to do also something, I don't know exactly what they want to do, but we will see. And so I mean, it's coming up a little bit later, but I think it's for me also what I did with this cover album is it's like in a way a gift to myself about my 70th birthday.
Right.
We will rock you.
It was not really planned, to put out a cover album is always a little bit critical, doing covers is like, so, and then we was working on the first song. What we did was not, let's say in a way a little bit more for fun. It was Faith Sealer of Alex Harvey band. It was always a favorite song what I would love to cover, it was like, let's do it and see what's coming up. So, and it turned out very well, and and then my producer said, hey, just make a list what you think, what kind of songs you would like to cover. I said, okay, can do that. So, and then I was making a list, and all the songs what I did now on this cover album is like songs I was listening to. They was not inspired me, or they was not inspired my vocal style, whatever. It was just songs I really like, So, and and then I came up with this list, and then I said, oh, come on, we have nothing to do, let's start working on some stuff. And so it developed slowly, you know, became more and more fun. And I think the important thing why I did this in the end, record the whole album, was I thought I can put my own character on there with my voice. Mm-hmm. It's not like, I mean, it makes no sense to make a copy of Klaus Meine or Freddie Mercury. Can be a little bit shaky, you know. It's like, nah, no, that was the point, you know. And I said, okay, I can put on my own character on there. We was arranging some songs a little bit different, make them a little bit harder, you know, that it fits to my vocals and blah, and so on and on and on. Yeah. So, and then, of course, the record company, they was listening to them and said, yeah, we want to bring it out.
For the fans, there's also a version with an earbook with lots of personal photography and so on. The fact that this is such a personal album, is that the main reason that this is not labeled as an U.D.O album, but this is Udo Dirkschneider?
It is Udo Dirkschneider, not an U.D.O album, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's a really personal album, and I was working with, like the family guys around me, you know, like Stefan Kaufmann was doing some guitar stuff. Peter Baltus was playing the whole bass. My son was doing the drums. My guitar players, they're sharing solo stuff and rhythm stuff. And then we had a guy from Germany. He was doing a lot of arrangement stuff on this album, Peter Koch, and he was also playing guitars on there. I had a good friend. He did the Hammond organ on Man on the Silver Mountain and Sympathy on Uriah Heep. There was and also my old guitar player Matthias Diet from the first U.D.O part. He came up and said, "Boy, you do a Sympathy of Uriah Heep, my favorite song. I want to play that." I said, "Yeah, go ahead." So there was a lot of fun. There was a lot of fun to do this album, you know.
Yeah.
The only song was not so easy. I thought it was easy, but it was not. And that was the German one. When I was singing the first time in my mother language, it was like, okay, easy going, you know. Well, of course, my mother language. Yeah, I know. To sing in German, it's quite different, you know. The words coming out different. It's harder. It's to get the right sense, you know, on the right place, you know. And it's like was not easy, but it was, let's say, learning by doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Awesome. I mean, you mentioned this. You mentioned already Sympathy as well from Uriah Heep.
Yes.
I think so far I've had the chance to listen to the full album a few times. I would say that I'm kind of torn between Sympathy and then also Jealousy as my favorite songs so far, because I really like the way they came out. Is there a song that kind of like really, apart from maybe the German one, that really surprised you in how it came out?
Yeah, in a way, I would say I was not sure that I can sing this, you know. That was Jealousy of Frankie Miller.
Yeah.
You know, that was like, okay, it's like, also my voice is a little bit bluesy, you know, so on this song. But it works, you know, and then I was really happy and said, oh yes, okay, I can do this song, you know. Yeah, I mean, and also Sympathy of Uriah Heep. I mean, this is also was always one of my favorite. A lot of people say, oh, why you're not doing July Morning or Gypsy or Lady in Black or I don't know. No, I said this was my favorite song of Uriah Heep, and that's why it is on the album.
Yeah. You obviously also covered. You mentioned it's nobody. There can only be maybe one Freddie Mercury, and obviously talking about "We Will Rock You," that you also released the video for.
Body of a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face.
You got official approval as well from the Queen camp, which must mean a lot as well. One thing that I find is fun is. Obviously, it's been a long time since Queen was on stage with Freddie Mercury. And so a whole generation or multiple generations of fans only know the studio version of We Will Rock You, but are not aware of the more faster paced live version.
I know.
Is that fun for you to kind of help, awareness around this, maybe even much more fun version of that song?
That fits more to me, like this normal thing what everybody is doing, there's they're like this, No, we said, okay, if we do a Queen song, I want to do then the fast We Will Rock You stuff, So also very interesting story. The German guy who was doing a lot of arrangements and guitar playing on his album, he's a really good friend of Brian May.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was playing this cover version then to Brian May, and Brian May said, thank God, not always the same cover thing. This is a really good version, and I mean that was a big honor for me. He said, okay, say hello to Udo, well done. Okay, thank you. I mean, Brian May is not like he's different. That's level, really high level. So, I mean, that was also like, okay, I did the right thing. I mean, come on, to try to copy Freddie Mercury, no.
Yeah.
No way. And that can be a little bit funny, No. No. Two songs are not on the album. It was like my first single what I ever had. I was, I think, 13, 14 years old. Was I'm Down of the Beatles. We didn't get the right of the publishing company, and we found out that it's only Yoko Ono. He said no. And also Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood of Animals. So these two songs was also on the list, but we didn't get the right, so sorry. But okay, what can you do? Nothing. Yeah, so I mean, it's also like the Painted Black of Rolling Stones, I mean, it's in a way a completely different arrangement, but you still hear Painted Black, but in a different way. And and also the publishing company said, wow, this is a really interesting version, And normally they said a lot of people in the business say, oh, the publishing company of Rolling Stones, very critical. 2 days later, when they heard the song, they said, wow, very good. So, I mean, what can I say? I mean,
all right.
I think it looked like we did the right thing.
You've now released so much music in a few months.
Yes.
And you haven't had the chance to promote Game Over yet, the final U.D.O. album. You are planning tours, and we know that. You're planning shows, festival shows. With the fans, like, what should we expect? Like, is the focus going to be on Game Over, or are you going to include some My Way stuff as well?
Definitely, the focus is on Game Over album, and still we play some Accept stuff. Okay, here we go. Yeah, maybe we will see. Maybe we try 2-3 songs, if they are working for us live, and then maybe, if we're in the mood to do this on stage, then at the encore, we maybe play 1 or 2 songs, But it's not really planned to put this really into the set list. I think everybody is waiting for the Game Over stuff, and we also. And but anyway, I mean, to make up a set list is, believe me, it's a night like. Okay, but you cannot satisfy everybody, but we try always, to make it interesting, So we do our best, and hopefully everything works. And we have also now getting new dates for America. Was already planned to do an American tour in Canada. Also, that was not happen. So I think America will be the beginning of next year in Canada, and they're working on shows, and. And then I'm really looking forward to coming back to America, definitely.
Udo, I want to just say thank you so much for your
You're
time.
welcome.
I know you
You're
have a
welcome.
very busy schedule, and I really appreciate it that you had the time to talk to me. And I can't wait to see you on the road and play us some Game Over and maybe one special surprise at the end of the set. Who knows?
I'm always good for surprises.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome. You're welcome. Okay, have a nice day. Bye
it.
bye.
You too.
You get your balls to the wall.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.